Good morning, Max.
Good morning, Grace.
Hi.
Max is a young man who hailed from Southwest, particularly Kumba. So he was born in Kumba, in the Kumba District Hospital, and he did his primary and secondary education in Kumba. That is GPS primary, or GPS Kumba, and GBHS Kumba. I moved to the University of the Only Two, where presently I have a master's in business law.
Wow.
When you study law, one of the basics or one of the skills that are required from you after the university is communication. In fact, communication is a basics of law students or any lawyer, any lecturer. You know, when you study law, there are three main functions or there are three main professions every law student would desire to become. We have a lawyer, we have a magistrate, and we have a lecturer. After undergoing studies or law studies, I discovered that it is necessary for one to have communication skills. So, literature students.
So when you're talking of communication skills, is it a particular skill that as a law student you must have? What do you really mean about communication skills?
Okay, when I mean communication skills, mean the ability to speak eloquently, the ability to speak fluently.
Okay.
So, coupled with the fact that I did literature in secondary school and I'm doing law, which still carries communication, because the purpose of spoken word and slam is communication. And spoken word is a form of literal, it's a form of poetry performance. So for you to, as a form of poetry performance, that is, you transmit a message using a poetic style. So what is that poetic style? It means that you are transmitting a message with the use of literature devices, literary techniques like simile, metaphor, euphemism, and so on and so forth, particularly rhyming scheme. So if you want to transmit a message, you want to make it appealing, you want to make it interesting or fascinating, you have to apply these literary devices. Now the difference between spoken word and slang is that spoken word more often than not deals with storytelling, and in spoken word there is an application of a lot of literary devices, while slam is mainly recitation that has to do with basically rhyming scheme. You don't really.
Is there really a music behind that?
Okay, in spoken word there is a background sound, and also maybe an instrument that will play in order to support the message. But in slam, more often than not, you do it like that without a background sound.
This book that was written by you,
there is a growing interest for world speakers. There's a growing interest for writers. There's a growing interest for good singers. You understand? And for you to be able to meet up with the world expectation of good speakers, good writers, good singers, you must be able to know what you need to do in order to fit it, in order to communicate well. So there are international competition for this. There have been many people who don't know, many people are not aware. So this book is written to enlighten. Now this book, the content is divided into two. The first part contains slam and spoken word, and the second part contains words that have been arranged in a rhyming manner, words with the same sound. For example, attention, fornication, generation. Now all those words that are arranged them now, so that if you are a pastor, if you want to make a sermon, you could just use those words in your sermon, so that, or in your lecture, so that it can be appealing. Islam, I want to present, carries a message to the youth particularly. This is it. Just listen. I must say without any fear of contradiction that life gives you an option which draws your attention to make a decision that matches with your vision. See, what I'm about to say may be imagination, but I must say life is your creation. You need to establish principles that are aimed at meeting your ambition. See, education is not really needed for a man that has caught a revelation. All what he needs is determination and adequate preparation by getting an information through a television. See, prophetic declaration and proclamation cannot really ensure a solution to your confusion and frustration. But decision making and action taking, which are in the success equation, can give you a solution with almost satisfaction.
Wow.
This is a slam for such girls, that everybody who is struggling, every youth who is struggling, struggling has a better future. Just need to keep up with the boy who has made his intention. Now this is it. Now this is a short story that I crafted. It's not actually real, but I'm sure it's real in the society. Now this is it. The story is about one man called Peter, Mr. Peter and Rita. Now this is it. Mr. Peter is a former interpreter who is presently a painter. He wrote a love letter to Sister Rita, but she rejected the letter, saying he's not a good writer, that he has grown fatter. It takes a lot of water. He doesn't drink much water. Besides, they live in the same quarter. Now, Mr. Peter approached me, Peter. He said that he approached me, Peter, but I told him not to worry, that it doesn't matter. With God, everything will be better. That he should not be a quitter. He should continue being a good fighter, because one day things will get brighter. Now, 2 years after, Mr. Peter became an exporter and importer of Cameroon-made butter. Everything he touches glitter, even in winter. Now, Sister Rita had been done by Barrister Tita, who studied in Atlanta. She's now dating a carpenter called Data, who is a monster, whose hands are strong like that of a monster. She was very confused and surprised when Mr. Peter moved straight to the altar with Zita, the daughter of Mommy Kata. And immediately after their wedding, they traveled to Kata. So my advice for you, young girl, is that don't give up on that boy, because there's something coming his way which is greater. So we should develop that spirit of writing what we have. We should not be selfish with knowledge. And secondly, I would like to tell our viewers that it's good to read this book. When you read this book, you discover that your lectures will not be the same. You read this book, you discover that your songs will not be the same. Your speeches as an administrator will not be the same.